Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Mention Tom Street Place. They have firewood this year as well. And Lubbock Sports Medicine, a great team of doctors. Go to LubbockSportsMed.com and check them out. You'll be really impressed with Lubbock Sports Medicine. All right, welcome back to Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby.
And we do indeed have Cody Campbell on the line. Cody, we appreciate you taking your time because I know you're spending most of your time gathering up football players for us, so we appreciate you squeezing us in.
Yeah, you bet. Good to talk to you guys.
Man, it's good to have you on, Cody. And anyway, I was asking Gary yesterday at lunch, I said, are we going to have just one team or are we having two teams? We're getting so many players, and I've been so impressed with the ones we're getting, Cody.
No, I'm excited about it too. I think we're in a position to actually have a talent advantage, a pretty significant one for next season in the conference. And so, that's a spot we haven't been in before. And so it's exciting to think about.
Well, what I'd like for you to do is for our listeners, because I took notes at the meeting out at the Fancy Country Club that you and Kirby and Joey came out and did. I took notes and I passed them along, but, there's a lot of things lost in translation. Can you give us the Reader's Digest version of what we're going to have come, June the 1st? Or between now and June the 1st, I guess.
Well, July the 1st is the date, but
okay.
Sure, I'm happy to kind of walk through it. So, I think everybody has gotten, developed some level of understanding of the current system, which is that the school athletic departments provide scholarships to the players, and then there are separate entities that have been, that have popped up that are booster run NIL collectives that pay the players to be there. And they have to be completely separate from the university. All the money in the NIL collectives have to come from donor dollars. They can't come from any athletic department revenue, anything like that. And so we've been operating and using the Matador Club for this purpose to try to support our programs. And so the Matador Club has been our NIL collective during this period of time that NIL collectives have been able to operate. So there was a class action lawsuit in California in 2020, and that lawsuit is in the process of being settled right now. The two parties have reached an agreement, and the judges approved it. This case is called House versus NCAA, and pursuant to that settlement agreement, starting July the 1st. Student athletes will be able to receive a percentage of athletic department revenue payable from the athletic departments. And so and the NIL collectives go away at that same time. And so moving forward into next year, we're going to have student athletes, getting paid directly by the school. Each school is going to have a salary cap, so to speak, and everyone's salary cap is going to be the same. For next year, it's based on a formula that's in the settlement. It's going to be about $20.5 million, and that'll be divided up among the various sports in the athletic department. That $20.5 million will be. It'll be divided up proportionately to the percentage of total revenue that each sport brings in to the school. And at Texas Tech, we're about the same as most national averages. Football brings in about 76% of the money. And men's basketball brings in, 18 to 20% of the money. And so that's how it'll be allocated. The other sports, are a small piece. And so that $20.5 million will be allocated, 75, 76% to football, 18, 19% to men's basketball.
Well, you say the other sports are a small piece. Actually, the other sports are a negative. Is what it boils down to.
On a bottom line, from a bottom line standpoint, every other sport loses money.
Right.
Yeah, but top line wise, they do have some top line revenue, and so the revenue share is going to be divided based on the top line revenue.
Okay.
So,
not on the net. Yeah, that's good.
Not on the net. That's right. Yeah.
That's
so
good.
Because if it were based on the net, the student athletes would be paying. You know,
Yeah, no, y'all gonna have to kick in.
yeah,
Y'all want to play or not?
Yeah.
You want to have a team?
So,
well, I don't know whether you saw this, Cody, but I just was looking at our softball team. Season tickets are sold out.
Yeah.
Sold out.
It's not. They should be pretty good this year.
Oh yeah, they really should be. So that's
a tribute to
Yeah.
you and your partner,
John
too.
Sellers and his wife. I think that's a big deal.
Yeah, it definitely is attributable to Tracy Sellers for sure.
Well,
So,
there are a couple of sports that, and I said this a couple of years ago, that when this came about, is there's a couple of sports that you can buy yourself. Maybe not a national championship, but you can buy yourself a Final Four or
A shot at
conference
it.
championships
Yeah.
and stuff like that. It's just a matter of how bad do you want to win at this particular sport. So in softball, apparently we want to win pretty bad. And I'm looking forward to this season.
That's right. You know, and I think a lot of people have had to decide, you know, you have to make a business decision at some level, you know, because like I just said, all the revenue comes from football and men's basketball. You know, the only sports that are considered when it comes to conference realignment and whether we and other schools make it into the Super League, you know, that's football, and then, you know, to a smaller extent, men's basketball. And so when it comes to just, you know, allocating dollars, you know, you don't choose to spend money on those sports, but some people do have a passion for them, you know?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so we've had, you know, the Sellers, you know, supporting softball. We've had some other folks that have stepped up and supported baseball, supported track, supported the Lady Raiders. And so, you know, that's something great that's come from this whole thing, is that we've been able to boost our, you know, all of our programs through NIL, and so we're really proud of that. But it's all it's all changing again starting on July the 1st, and so you know, we'll just have to get adjusted to that. And you know, a lot of these athletes are going to be getting paid a lot of money. It's going to really increase the stakes, and you know, but the real big positive of it is that we're all going to be on the same playing field. We're going to have the same salary cap that University of Texas has, that Texas A&M has, that Oklahoma has. So everybody in the country is going to have the same $20.5 million.
All right, I don't want to be Mr. Negative here, but do you think that when we get to that at level playing field, the ones that are used to not having the level playing field, that have cheated for the last 50, 75 years, will go back to cheating now?
I think people are always going to try to cheat. But I do think that with as much money is being paid to these kids through this, it's going to be hard to cheat as much, because you think about giving somebody a bag of cash, you know, I mean, it's pretty easy to give them a bag of $20,000, say, you know, and that used to really move the needle.
Yeah.
Well, when the top player is going to now be making $1 million.
Yeah.
That 20,000.
You know,
I don't get it.
No. So, I mean, I think that the legitimate sources and, you know, payment sources are going to be big enough that it's just not going to be as meaningful if people cheat. And the very clear intention in this settlement and among everybody I talked to at the different conferences and ADs is that we're gonna stop this Wild West stuff, or slow it down at least, and hopefully slow down the transfers, and hopefully, you know, just make a system that's more sustainable. But, you know, going back to this transfer portal situation that we're in, we recognized 6 or 7 months ago, whenever this settlement was starting to be discussed, that there could be an opportunity, a limited window of time to, you know, take advantage of the Wild West situation while it still exists before these new rules kick in. And so we decided to do that this year in the transfer portal.
Okay.
Y'all done it.
Kids, we've got a phenomenal list of kids that are supposedly coming. Have they signed something? Are they contractually
they've all
obligated?
signed. Well, contractually, I don't know. You know, legally, who knows? But they've all signed. So, I mean, the problem is the NCAA hadn't been able to enforce anything, you know, in several years now. So, who knows what means what? But they have all signed the contract with the Matador Club. They've all signed their scholarship agreements, whatever the word is for those. national letter of intent with the university. So we expect them all to be enrolled in January, and so we're excited about it.
Well, I think once we get them here in January,
that's the whole reason you want to pursue this December portal window, is because you get them in for spring ball.
And once they get here and get around the other people and the people in Lubbock, they're gonna stay hooked.
And we got a group, aside from getting a group of great athletes, we got a great group of really good kids.
Okay, how do you? I heard you say that, and I'm pretty sure y'all checked into that. How did you check into that? Because that to me is almost as important as how good they are, is how they gonna fit in, their character and things like that. How did y'all check into that?
Well, Joey's good at that kind of thing, and he has his relationships are so deep across, especially high school football, that he can call their high school coach. And then you might be surprised, but there's actually a lot of kind of just professional courtesy paid between college coaches. If a kid's leaving a place, they'll call each other up and say, "Hey, what's going on with this guy? Why is he leaving? Is he a good kid? Is he a bad kid? What do you have to," and they'll tell the truth. So we were able to run that down, and then we got them all in on visits and talked to him and met them. And so I'm very encouraged by the quality of kid that we got. And we got some guys with maturity. Some guys that are coming to Tech with a purpose. And so I think that they should be very productive.
Are there most of these 1-year kids, or some of them 2- and 3-year kids?
It's a mix. I would say that most of them are 1 year, but there are some that have multiple years of eligibility left.
Okay. And then if they say please, they might even get another year.
Yeah, I mean, there just aren't any rules. They just came out with the deal that junior college doesn't count against you.
There you go.
Unbelievable. Cody, after the Colorado game on November the 9th, there was a lot of frustration, I think, and one of the fans, I thought this was tremendous. A Tech fan replied to you, Campbell, one of your posts, with some colorful language and a request, buy us an O-line. And your response?
Well, I've been saying that for over a year now. I said, come on, Cody.
Buy us an O-line. And your response was, I will.
I will.
And you have. Cody, I got to tell you, I've been looking at these pictures and reading these guys' bios. These are a bunch of grown men coming in here. That's a great-looking crew.
Great players. So James Blanchard, who's the GM of Tech football, he and his team evaluated the whole country essentially, and we have an advanced analytics group helping us, a Moneyball group. They use AI and all sorts of algorithms to evaluate players as well. We evaluated essentially everybody in the country. And then, once the portal opened and the guys got in, or it became known who was going to get in the portal, we made our list, and, we had our needs position by position. So we made our list of those positions. We had maybe 3 or 4 guys, ranked 1 through 4, who we want. And we got our number 1 choice at every single position. And in some cases, we got our number 1 and our number 2 choice.
That's awesome.
So,
awesome.
Again, just the talent level is going to be a game changer for us. And the thing is, the cupboard wasn't bare to start with. That we've been doing a good job the last 3 years, and Joey and his staff have been recruiting out of high school. And so we have some great players on the existing roster. And, so you add this, guys that can immediately contribute to that group that's been developing. Like I said, we're going to have a talent advantage here that we have never had before. And, that's pretty incredible. We think that, with the 3 defensive tackles and the edge rusher we brought in, plus the guys that we have left, we very well may have the best defensive line in the country next year. And that's what our analytics guys think, that we will be the best. And I don't know that that's ever happened to Tech. We've historically had 1 guy or 2 guys in a good year that are really, really good, but we've never had 3 or 4 dominant defensive tackles at the same time, and so that's going to be something that I think is going to be a huge advantage for us.
Well,
in the big spots.
Even if they're not the best, if you can just say that they might be the best, they don't have to be the best.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. Yeah, I mean,
we haven't even had that.
And then we got Joey out there with his motivational and coaching them up.
Oh yeah,
and his staff out there. So just give us anywhere near the best, and we'll go to war with them.
Yeah, Joey gets them to play hard, and they have such a great culture. They play for each other, I think we have all the pieces in place. It's just I haven't been more excited about it in a really long time, and I think that there are these moments in college sports and college football in particular where people can take advantage of certain situations and turmoil and changes, and I think we've done that, and and I think that we have the right coaches in place and to capitalize on the talent that we have. And so it's all there for us.
Well, but we don't want to get out of here, Cody.
We look forward to football season.
Oh, I know. Everybody's already ready to start again. We still got one more game in the bowl game. But
that's right.
Hey, we don't want to get out of here. And certainly Gary and I talk about it quite a bit. But we're so thankful for what y'all are doing and what you're doing in particular, you and John, and the money that y'all donated, the contributions y'all made, and the effort that y'all put into this, and the people that you've rallied with you to make this what it is. And just thank you for what you're doing. And we really appreciate it.
Oh, you bet. We're proud to do it. Very proud.
Well, are you in a hurry to get out of here, or you got a few more minutes?
No, I can come back with you.
Okay, if you'll do that, I got a few questions. One of them's about Title IX, because this seems to be just knocking Title IX for a loop. And then the Super League that you mentioned earlier, I want to get a little bit, a little more insight than what David and I have, because we're not very insightful.
We're not that smart. Cody, hang on. Just hang on. We'll be back right after this little break, okay?
And listen, you get to listen to some great Red Raider supporters and sponsors of this show. But
great.
All right, we're talking with Cody Campbell, and we'll be back with more sports talk with Thetford and Ashby and Cody Campbell right after this message.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Welcome back to Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby. Cody Campbell's with us, and he is the head guy of the Matador Club, and that club has grown. Cody, it's gotten big, and always need more, right?
It has, yeah. We've been able to raise a lot of money. We have about 4,000 or close to that many individual donors, and we've gotten a lot of people to buy in, and I've been able to make a big impact.
No question about that. And we appreciate you taking your time today, and this is very informative. And Gary has a couple more questions here.
Well, I got a question about Title IX, because Title IX was, we understand that football makes 78% of the money, in basketball 12, 15, 18% of the money, and the women and the spring sports, none. But we got to split it in half. That was sort of Title IX.
Yeah.
Is that just gone away?
No, the gender equity in scholarships will still exist for sure. So you'll have to have the same number of scholarships for male student athletes that you do for female.
Yeah.
But this payment system, I'm certain there are going to be lawsuits about it, and I think that's unquestionable. I think the difference with this is that the money is being distributed on a commercial basis under this revenue sharing agreement. And like I was talking about, the percentages going to each sport, that's the reasoning for it. It doesn't have anything to do with gender. All has to do with the commercial value that these student athletes are bringing to the table. And that's the point of this settlement, is to fairly compensate them for the value that they're bringing. And when I mean they, I mean the student athletes. And so that's how it's going to be done, but there will be a lawsuit, no question.
But there will be a lawsuit.
Go ahead and plan on it.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and I think it's safe to say we can expect this is a work in progress. We can expect an evolution
for
in this
sure.
thing.
And the final say on this is going to be the U.S. Congress. There's going to have to be some legislation passed to stop all the lawsuits and to settle things, and with any finality. And so, I don't love having to count on Congress to figure things out for us, but that's just kind of where we are legally.
Let's just let Elon do it.
We had Tuberville on Tuberville was on about a year and a half ago. What, about a year and a half ago?
Yeah, he was in the studio.
And he said he talked to some coaches, and they said, we're going to have to get y'all involved. And he said, you may not want us involved because we make laws. We don't make suggestions and things like that. We make laws.
Yeah.
And so, but apparently it's coming to that.
Well, side note, I like Tuberville better as a senator than I did as a football coach. But he's right, but we got to have him do it. Major League Baseball has had some legal protections for 100 years, over 100 years now, that have allowed them to, have salary caps, to have, some semblance of order. Same thing with the NFL, NHL, NBA. There's the Sports Broadcasting Act, I think, of 1964 that allowed them to negotiate their media rights together. And, so a lot of things have to be figured out. We're going to be talking about whether these student athletes are going to be employees of the university or not, whether they're going to be able to form unions. Mm-hmm. We talked about Title IX, their antitrust issues that, the antitrust issues are the reasons that the NCAA keeps losing these lawsuits. And so Congress has to protect them from that. But all that stuff has to be sorted out. And really, the only way that it can be done is through federal law change. And and it's getting a lot of attention.
It's funny.
There were several hearings during the last Congress, and Ted Cruz's Commerce Committee is sort of leading the charge in the Senate. So I expect that we're going to see some legislation over the next year or 18 months.
I thought it was funny you mentioned baseball having all these protections and all, and Juan Soto just signed a $775 million contract not long ago. So anyway, all right, and we talk about the evolution of this thing. It's going to evolve into a super league, and I'm assuming you're in more of these conversations than David and I. I hear 30, I hear 60. What's your educated guess on how many teams are we looking at?
Well, there have been different proposals made, and of course, then the SEC and the Big Ten have their own, their own plans they're trying to make, or some schools within those groups. One interesting one, if you really want to kind of see one of the major proposals, you ought to Google College Student Football League, and it's a pretty cool one that's been spearheaded by a guy named Lynn Perna, who's a big sports business guy, and then a couple of NFL owners. And it has some legs, and Kirby Hocutt's gotten involved with working with them and being an ambassador. And a lot of universities have sort of signed on in support of this league. So it's one that has a chance. If you go to their website, they have a whole presentation on, exactly how many teams and how they're going to split them up. They have a 72 school super league that's split up in 12 different pods that are sort of make geographic sense, which is great. So
you need that.
We do.
Yeah, for sure. And so, it's a pretty good solution, I think. But I think some version of that, a larger, more inclusive league will probably work. Because, like I said, in order for any of this to be sustainable legally, Congress is going to have to act and grant this antitrust exemption and, settle the employment issues and all those sorts of things. And for Congress to be able to pass any kind of protection like that, they're going to have to include more people. If the SEC and Big Ten want to leave a whole bunch of people out, those laws aren't going to pass Congress. So, I think that political aspect of it is probably the biggest reason why the league's going to end up being bigger than smaller. But the key for Texas Tech is just that we continue to be competitive in football and men's basketball primarily, because all of this is being driven by TV revenue.
Yeah.
The number of people that tune in to watch our games and the ratings that we get. And so we need to be interesting to watch in order to, draw those ratings. To a lesser extent, but still important, is attendance. And, we've always done really well on attendance relative to other people. So we just have to keep doing that. But the main thing is just we've got to win. So that's what we're trying to do.
Win, baby, win. Let me ask you this, Cody. Have you couple of things. Number one, I saw you the other night at the basketball game, and you evidently, Dusty Womble, didn't he have those 4 seats right by the bench?
Yeah.
And you were sitting down there. How was that?
It was pretty cool. I took my son, who actually is turning 14 today,
Oh, wow.
Today's his birthday.
Happy birthday.
I had him with me, and he thought it was really cool.
I bet he did.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun.
The other thing, and we know Dusty Womble, of course, I know he's a partner of yours, a regent, fellow regent, and has done so much for Texas Tech, and thanks to Dusty Womble, too, and I know he's a huge partner in all this that's going on. But the other thing is, have you been watching Landman?
Yeah.
Going back to before we get to Landman, before we get off Dusty, yeah, I think the big key is to the success we're having right now and the things we're doing is just we have so much alignment among all the regents, all the donors. Yeah. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's stepping up and giving money. And everybody's supporting what's being done, and so it's just been phenomenal. And honestly, the alignment across the university and across the donor base and that's the reason we're moving things forward right now. And so I can't speak any more highly of Dusty because he's been a huge part of that, and he's so great to work with on the board, such a generous guy, such a smart guy, and so it's just good to have people like business-minded people like him in a position, to make a difference, and he's been fantastic.
Mark Griffin, Dougal Mark.
Yeah, Mark McDougal.
There were so many. Mark Griffin's been an incredible board chair. Mark McDougal is fantastic and getting everybody rallied up in Lubbock, and then Tim Culp in Midland.
Yeah, wonderful guy.
He can pull together down there, and Gary Peterson in Houston. He, just whenever we, all right, Gary, we got to get this receiver. Where do I send my check? And so, and then of course, John Sellers and Mike Wallace down in Midland, and I mean, the list goes on.
That's some great names.
Yeah. I mean, we've got some guys that just really do love the university, and again are just aligned, and so that's been great. And then you go to the athletic director and Kirby, and
Kirby and Lawrence.
So many athletic directors, and Lawrence Giovannetti. So many athletic directors, and especially university presidents, have just wanted to stick their head in the sand through all this stuff and just act like it's not even going on. And they've leaned into it and supported, making adjustments and making changes and doing things differently than we've ever done before. And so it's been fantastic. And then Ted Mitchell, as a chancellor, is just he's there for us. Whatever we need, he's like, you guys, this is not really supposed to be the chancellor's domain, but he couldn't be more supportive, couldn't be a bigger sports fan, and so. He's been fantastic, but it's just things are working right now. They're clicking, and this alignment, if we can keep it going, we're going to keep building this thing, and are going to end up in a place we're going to be really happy with.
Awesome to watch.
I think people think all schools have this kind of support.
They don't.
Not at all. But we're very fortunate.
And I credit y'all, that group that you've mentioned, of all working together and just sharing the glory and sharing. It's all for Texas Tech, and all because you love this school.
Yeah.
And it's
now back to Landman.
All right, you do know that John Hamm. There's a lot of people that say that John Hamm is you. He lives in Fort Worth. His name's Monty, I think, in the show. And I know it's not all realistic and everything, but it's pretty interesting. I've really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, it's an entertaining show. We've joked about it. I think OSHA might have some issues with that workover crew.
Out there hitting it with a hammer.
They'd ask the question. You guys, somebody dies on your rig every day.
Every day.
It's a hard job.
Hey,
I will say this.
We know Taylor Sheridan, and there are some interesting similarities between Monty's story and ours. But again, it's a little. We've never had a run-in with the cartel.
Not yet.
Nobody's ever stolen our airplane. Nothing like that's ever happened. So
it makes for a great story, though.
It does, yeah.
All right, who do you know that would be the Billy Bob in this thing?
Well, that's what everybody. Sellers, he wants to claim he's John Hamm.
He wants you to be Billy Bob?
Yeah, that's right. So we've been trying to figure that out.
Well, Gary and I love him because everything he says is smart, elegant, or the other word.
Oh yeah,
and that's right up our.
Well, it's been that way his whole life. We've known each other since we were 12, and yeah, he's never not had a smart comment to make.
Is that right?
Somebody said, "Oh yeah."
We need to have him on one of these days.
You do, yeah. He's entertaining.
He'll fit right in there with us because he's entertaining. He'll fit right in there with us because that's all we do is a bunch of sarcastic.
Well, is he outgoing where he would talk, or would he sort of a quiet guy?
No, he definitely talked to you. Yeah, he definitely talked.
Where's he living now? In Midland?
Fort Worth, yeah.
In Fort Worth?
No, he lives in Fort Worth.
Oh,
yeah,
y'all are in Fort Worth. See, that's where Monty lives.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But don't you love the Texas Tech stuff? And I know.
Well, they made us look pretty hicky.
Well,
finally, that shiny blonde's going to go to Texas Tech. So finally a good-looking person is representing Texas Tech.
I guess I'm an episode behind. But, yeah, I think it's good. We've said, maybe we ought to get him to come out and film at a football game or something next year. And
that'd be awesome.
The exposure has been good for this school, I think. So
they talked about the Overton Hotel.
It's the most popular show that Taylor Sheridan's ever had.
Oh, wow. That's saying a lot.
That's saying a lot.
Really is, yeah. It's saying a whole lot. He made Yellowstone, so
yeah.
It's I think it's pretty funny.
I do want to tell people out there that haven't seen it yet, that plan on seeing it. It's not a show you want to watch with your mother-in-law.
No.
So
it's pretty rough.
No, it is.
Without a doubt. Okay, we got a texter here. Let me get the text. Well, darn, it disappeared. Okay. Ask Cody about his first road trip with the Colts. The guys pranked him by I'm not even going to go into it, about getting him to sit in somebody's seat. Is this a true story?
With the Baltimore Colts?
Well, Indianapolis. So.
Indianapolis.
He said one of his cousins
school.
One of your cousins told this guy this story. So it's supposedly true.
Guys did so much of that. I can't even remember. The one story I remember from my first road trip is that the rookies have to buy. When you're going, the rookies have to pick everybody up as food for the plane or whatever. And so we went and got Chipotle, burritos, and handed them out to everybody. And I handed Edrin James his burrito, and he didn't know what a burrito was. He'd never seen one before. And I was like, how do you not know? He said it's like a sandwich with the soft bread and a bunch of gooey stuff inside of it. And I said, that's exactly what it is. Yeah, and but I don't know how he didn't know what a burrito was. But guys are always messing with you. NFL locker rooms. The guys are older, but the jokes stay the same. You're always messing with each other, and it was fun to be a part of all that.
My first year, one of my buddies was from New Jersey, and he didn't know what okra was. And I found that a little. Oh, this is a story. Apparently, they pranked you and had you sit in Peyton Manning's seat on the plane.
Oh, that may have been right. Yeah, that probably happened. Yeah,
that probably.
I don't know.
Well, it's you liking Fort Worth?
Yeah, we love Fort Worth. It's a great
and your
town.
family?
All right, we've only got 1 minute left. Say something really smart to our listeners here.
All right, so just appreciate everybody's support, but I think the key moving forward is that, we need to finish things up with the Matador Club between now and July the 1st. And then after that, it's going to be the challenge is going to be making sure that we raise enough money for the athletic department to be able to pay the salary cap. It's $20.5 million of additional expense with zero additional revenue. And so, we all got to do our part. I used to play left guard and block, and, that was my job back then. Now my job is to do what I can, and a big part of that's writing checks. And so just want to encourage everybody to be a part of the team, and to do your part and serve your role on the team. And that's, buying season tickets. It's giving to the Red Raider Club. And I know everybody can't write a huge check, but, just do what you can.
You've been great, buddy.
Appreciate
You've done your part. Awesome. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Merry
Take care,
Christmas.
guys. We'll see you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Sports talk conversations with a good laugh mixed in. This is the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
All righty, Plains Capital Bank, ride with the good guys at Plains Capital. Barry Ballinger is retiring.
Yeah, what a great career.
Oh, my gosh, 40-something years at Plains.
Oh, wow.
It's amazing. He is one fine guy, I will tell you that.
I spent 8 years officing there in Plains Capital Bank in there, so I got to see how they work. That's a great bunch.
It's a
the
great,
good guys.
Yeah, organization in Lubbock, people, Lubbock, sport in Lubbock. Hey, quarter four, we mentioned them. You might run if you don't have all your shopping done, you can finish up everything right there because they got
lazy
something for
folks.
everybody.
They're a great place for lazy folks because all you got to do is get there and go in, and you're there. You can get everything you need.
You can finish.
In fact, I was going to tell you this also. Everything I'm wearing today, HG Thrash or quarter four.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All righty. We got Robert Giovannetti.
Do we?
On the phone with us. Gio, I thought you probably were already up in Memphis getting ready. Are you not?
No, team leaves on Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
So Christmas at home.
No.
No. For you. I'm talking about for you. You're going with the team.
Yeah. No, I'm actually going on Christmas Day.
Oh, you are? Well,
Yeah.
Good. You can have we have a little Christmas at home?
Little Christmas at home, yes, sir.
What time are you leaving Christmas Day?
I think it's like 1:40.
Okay. Got Christmas.
You need a ride or
Christmas
anything?
morning.
I said, you guys want to swing by and pick me up?
What will be your responsibilities out there? What will you do when you get there? Could they do it without you?
Oh, yeah, they definitely could. There's most things they could do without me. For sure.
In fact, we had to hire people to make up, right?
Well, remember Taylor McNeil?
Yeah.
Taylor McNeil was out there, and when Taylor retired, they had to hire like 6 people to do what Taylor McNeil did. I'm thinking Gio's be the same way.
I know it. See, Gio, he's so humble, but we couldn't lose you. You got to stay. And I know you thought about going into the portal, but you're not going, are you?
Oh, I dipped my toe in the portal, but I didn't get much looks. So
now, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? Let's just spread this portal around. All of a sudden, there goes the secretary. He's gone to Illinois. So anyway.
How amazing though is what those guys have done, Cody and those guys, and it's pretty impressive.
Did you get a chance to listen to Cody?
I listened to you last little bit with Cody. Yes.
Well, I tell you, they're doing a phenomenal.
God, unbelievable you talk about a machine. We are a machine. I never seen anything like it. I keep seeing these names pop up on my deal. Like, I like him, and I'm thinking we don't have enough uniforms.
People are very excited about getting 1 or 2, and we've got like 13 of them or so. So,
well, you know what this reminds me of is pro football. When you get toward the end of spring training and they say, hey, go see coach and bring your playbook with you.
Yeah, I know.
Because we're going to have a lot of guys that are going to have to bring their playbook with them and go find another place to play. Because I'm sure we're going to help them. I bet Abilene Christian gets a lot of our guys, with Keith down there, Coach Patterson down there.
Yeah.
So,
anyway. For sure. It's interesting to watch it happen. And again, we've always had such great support from our donors and fans. And this is an unbelievable example of that.
Well, it really is. No doubt about it.
Hey, listen, Gio, I wanted to thank you, and I didn't get a chance to, but the last game against West Virginia, which we played so great, and I contribute a lot of that to the flyover that you had. And most people didn't see it, but there were 3 planes about 30,000 feet up in the air, and I saw it, and I thought it was excellent. Thank you for doing that.
Yeah, we felt like those ones that fly high altitude don't get enough credit.
No, that's right.
I did see it. I'm looking the whole game for somebody to fly over, and I did see those. Flyovers were hard to come by.
You're going to quit coming on the show, aren't you? You say enough of that.
We deserve it. We deserve it. No, we had the stealth fires on that last game.
Stealth.
I think they're doing a really good job. You didn't even notice.
It's phenomenal.
Y'all just play a real loud plane sound on the speaker.
Yeah.
There they went.
And everybody be looking at us. I didn't see them. Did you? Yeah, I saw them. We struck out with flyovers this year. We had one that was actually here, and then the ceiling was too low, and they couldn't fly. And then we just struggled. And I even shows you how desperate I got. I even got the guy you just had on the call, Cody, to try to help us fly his private plane over.
I felt like he could exert a little muscle, but even he had. We just had trouble getting them this year. But we're already starting. If you guys know Christina Butts in the system office,
Yeah.
Christina and I talked last week, and we're already working to start for next year, and hopefully we can, get going and make up next year.
I think David's onto something here with that stealth, and then you play the
loud
airplane
jets.
noise, and everybody be looking.
You got to do that.
And
one
about
day.
20% of them swear they saw it.
Just punk everybody and see what they think. Hey, I'm still for crop dusters, but I know y'all can't do that because they're crazy, and you're afraid they'll land on the field or something.
Yeah, who knows what they would do? For sure, they'd be if we felt like we could trust them. But they might
we could trust them.
They could fly through the goalpost or something like that. I don't know. You guys remember that back years and years ago when the Colts, when it was Baltimore? David, I heard you say Baltimore.
I know it. I'm old school.
Burt Jones was the quarterback, and after they won a playoff game, there was a small plane crashed into their stadium after the game, and it looked like it had gone through the goalpost. No one got hurt or anything, but I just thought of that when we were talking about this.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so we'll see. We expect 4 flyovers next year.
So it wasn't a flyover gone wrong. Hey, we're just one flyover gone wrong from never having flyovers again. You know that.
There's no doubt. And, when we first built the new SPC across the street there, across the plaza, we had a flyover, and he was coming in really low, and then we set off the fireworks.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden I started seeing my career and everything else crash before my eyes. I thought, this guy's about to plow into this new SPC. Because I was wondering, did we tell him about those fireworks? But again, obviously they're used
if our
to flying a lot
fireworks
worse than
are shooting him down, we need to get some better planes.
Now
Right,
you get the blame. You get the blame for almost everything that goes wrong out there. Would you have to take the fall for that?
I probably would.
Yeah.
I'd probably take the fall for that for sure.
Okay. All right. I was just wondering. All right. Memphis, Tennessee. I'm sure we got a lot of folks going out there. What is there before the game, during the game, after the game? What should we expect?
There's the day before on that 26th. There's a huge parade and pep rally that our band and both bands and both spirit groups from Arkansas and Texas Tech will be there, and that's those that were there a couple years ago remember that was a really good time. That's fun. And then the day before, on the day of the game, I think at 2:00 or so that afternoon, there's a big tailgate party that they put on, so you don't have to worry about your own tailgating experience. They work on that with the bowl, and it's huge, and great food, great music. There's a lot of people there. So they do it really a good job there. It's an important bowl. It's one of the oldest bowls there is. And so they're really, and again, those of us older remember when Liberty Bowl was really, really one of the more prestigious bowls. And just with the changes, it's not, as high up on the pecking order as it used to be, but it is still a very, very respected and great traditional bowl. And so they're used to doing this, and they know what they're doing, and they put on a great time for everybody. And obviously there's a ton of things to see in Memphis with the Civil Rights Museum, the Graceland, and everything else. So there's a lot for our fans to do. And I believe the Grizzlies play twice during that time. So if you're into the NBA, there's some other things you can do as well.
Now, has Arkansas fans, have they evolved and matured any over the years? Because they were the absolute worst when I was coaching. I mean, I had a bat. Thank goodness I had a bat, because there was 3 of them out in the parking lot that I had to visit with, and they were just horrible. They shook the screen behind our dugout and broke the concrete and the deal. They almost got in a fight with Mr. Grimes, who I think could have cleaned all their clocks. But they hadn't totally evolved back when we were around.
Totally evolved. They're still going through the process.
Yeah. So, I mean, have you heard much about their fans? Should our fans come packing, or you think it's going to be a congenial deal?
I think it'll be congenial. We went up there a couple years ago and played, and it seemed fine there, right? They were. I think the one thing I've discovered, and Gary, you probably know this better than anybody, there's jerks everywhere. and every fan base. And
Wait a minute. What do you mean by, Gary, you know more than anybody?
There's jerks everywhere.
There's jerks. Everywhere I go, there's at least one.
Turns out it was me.
There's almost always one wherever I am.
I meant all your travels and minor league and baseball and everything else. But you're going to find that. I think it's going to be a great traditional rival, right? Those that remember Elvis Moya, the Tech graduate, and he used to work at Tech. Elvis is in administration there at Arkansas, and so I know he's excited about going up against the Red Raiders as well. So it's got all the trappings. You can see why people thought this was a good matchup.
Yeah,
two traditional Southwest Conference teams, and I think for us, seeing some of these young guys, seeing Will Hammond while Barron is out rehabbing, and I mean, if you can't be, and again, I say this knowing I've been doing this for a long time and been around Tech football for a long time, but if you can't get excited right now about what's happening about Texas Tech football, you may never get excited about it because we ended up with 8 wins, which is great. Have a chance to win 9, and what's happening with what we just heard from in the portal. I mean, there's a lot of great things to look forward to, and this hopefully springboards us into a great 25.
You mentioned football because it's obviously the biggest and the most interest, but just pick a sport out there right now. And
it's impressive.
There's some impressive stuff going on. The softball deal David talked about earlier being sold out. I mean, that's great. And, of course, we know Tim's going to have a great baseball team. And the basketball bunch looks like
both
when you ever get everybody healthy.
Yeah, we're good.
I agree. And, it's funny talking about softball, and they had a great fall. And I think people are going to really love Coach Glasgow and Nyjah, who's the best pitcher in the country. I mean, she was as advertised in the fall. The numbers she threw out this fall were just staggering.
We went out and watched her.
We did,
and she was very impressive.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have had a chance to meet her or talk to her or have her on your show, but she is a delightful young lady, and
we need to set that up.
Yeah.
Before they start.
All about the community. I mean, she is everything you would want in a student athlete. She's great personality. She's great teammate. Wants to be involved in the community. She is fit in really well here. And again, everyone always points at the dollars and everything else, but this is a genuinely good person and good Red Raider, and we're glad she's here.
Yeah. That's going to be the key. Gio, you just said it. What you just said about Nyjah is what we're going to need these football players to be. They're going to need to come to Lubbock, be Lubbockites, be Red Raiders, be plugged in. And that's the job of Coach McGuire and his staff. And I can't think of anybody I'd rather have doing that.
I'm glad that was on their list of things to be sure that the box they checked was that their character, good character guys.
Well, and you said it. I mean, the one thing that everyone – a lot of people have said, boy, how do you mix all these guys in the locker room? And I always just point to Joey, right? Yeah. I mean, Joey is a culture guy, and his guys, I mean, you can see it. They play hard for him late in the year. They play hard for him late in the games. They bought into what he's about. And, I mean, there's no one more West Texas, Texas Tech than Joey and Debbie and their family, and then all of the staffs. It's just exciting, and I think that Joey will seamlessly and his group really get these guys to be part of what we're trying to build here. I'm really fired up about next August and getting going.
Oh, I think more so than maybe ever.
Yeah.
I think the expectations are going to be higher more than ever in the history of ever.
In the history.
I just don't remember ever a time where there was this much, this kind of news. Texas Tech has never dominated in this sphere as far as, we're the talk of the country right now, right? People are taking notice. You're seeing just fans from random schools going, what in the world's going on at Texas Tech?
Yeah.
And got to take advantage of that.
I was telling Gary during the break this article that I've been resourcing here on the show with Cody. It's from the New York Times, and the headline says Texas Tech is winning the transfer portal. How the Red Raiders are pulling this off. From the New York Times.
Yeah, I sent that article yesterday to our executive staff, and I thought we might just get a mention in it. And as I'm reading it, I'm like, this whole thing's about what
Just
we're doing.
about us.
Hey, wait a minute.
And we've had, I bet this week, my staff in my office, we've had less than 10, but more than 5 requests to talk to Cody or talk to James Blanchard or talk about this. I mean, and from national media outlets that are saying, hey, we want to learn more about this world of college athletics and portals. And, Blanchard in his GM role and what he's doing, he's become kind of a celebrity figure. And I think people are realizing, well, what Texas Tech is doing, they're doing it the right way. And they're taking advantage of what's available to us. I don't know. I think everything is really aligned for us so far this December.
Gil, we got about 30 seconds left. I'm going to give you the last 30 seconds, but I did want to say we appreciate you and all you do, not only for Tech, but for us.
Yeah,
and we
awesome.
appreciate you, man, and we hope you all have a Merry Christmas and a great bowl trip. Now you got 15 seconds to wrap it up.
Yeah, Merry Christmas. Greatest place. Again, I say it all the time. It's the greatest place in the world, greatest fans in the world. I appreciate you guys, and I hope everyone has a great Merry Christmas, and look forward to 2025.
There you go.
Thank you, Gio.
Robert
Great job, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
You've been listening to the Sports Talk with Thetford and Ashby podcast from Double T 97.3. Catch the show live Saturday mornings from 9 to noon on Double T 97.3 FM or on the Double T 97.3 mobile app.